everyone, it's Michelle
and Sabrina,
and today we're here to show you how to turn off the water throughout the house in the event of an emergency or a water intrusion.
Every homeowner and every tenant should know how to do this in your home, condo, or townhouse.
So here we go.
So first, let's turn off the kitchen sink and the dishwasher in case any of these areas are leaking. Now it's a little complicated down here because there's a lot of hoses, but the bottom two down here is where your dishwasher shut-off are, and you're simply going to turn them until they shut off. And then the top two here are for the sink and the hot water, so same thing. You're just going to turn them to the off position.
It's the same thing with all the sinks throughout the house. Under each cabinet, there are valves. One is hot, one is cold, so just make sure you turn each one off. To turn off the bathroom toilet valve, you're just going to need to go behind the toilet and find the pipe or the valve and just turn it.
If you're running the washer and dryer, even if the units belong to the property and the homeowner, if the unit begins to overflow, you're still going to want to be able to shut the water off over at the main valve switches. Now these sometimes are very difficult, so using a pair of pliers or having someone strong can sometimes help, but usually it's just turning the valve and turning it off, and you'll do that to both valves.
Out in the garage, there are a couple more areas that you can shut off as well. One being the water heater. With this water heater, the valve is located toward the bottom. You just pull it up or turn it the opposite of the pipe. You usually find it at the top of the water heater though. Then you have the main water to the house. This is the actual unit that goes through all of the bathrooms, the kitchen, everything. But the water from Las Vegas Water is out on the street. So same thing, you just turn the valve. And one more thing that I noticed is they have a water softener. If ever you have a situation where the water softener is not working correctly, you can simply bypass it by hitting the back button and turning it off.
So I picked the one day that it's raining here in Las Vegas. I mean, it only rains 10 days out of the year. But as Michelle was explaining, the water shut off in the wall of the garage will shut off the water to the house. But if I needed to shut off the water to the entire property, including the landscaping, this would be the location to do so. Sometimes you need to use a tool, like a pair of pliers or a screwdriver, to lift the main water valve up and out. And then you may need a pair of pliers to be able to turn off the water. Now if you peer down in here, you'll see this is the turn valve, and you'll want to align this hole with that hole, and that will completely shut off the water to the property. And that is what you will do in case there's an emergency. Just remember that if you are a tenant living in a condo unit or a small townhome, you will not have access to the main meter outside. If you were to shut that main meter off, you could potentially shut off the entire building. So in your case, you're only going to be shutting off the water underneath each sink and behind each toilet.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.